Centuries ago, a light was buried so deep the world forgot it ever existed. A light so powerful it could bend kings, awaken civilizations, or destroy them. In the heart of ancient Baghdad stood libraries unlike anything the world had ever seen. Scrolls in every language, secrets from every empire, and knowledge that some say came from before time began. Scholars called them oceans of wisdom. The caliphs called them treasure. But some feared them. And then they vanished, not looted, not destroyed, erased. So what happened? Where did those scrolls go? What truths were hidden in those forbidden pages? And who still doesn't want you to know? Welcome, seekers, to Lost Thrones. If you crave the forgotten, the forbidden, and the truth buried beneath centuries of silence, then stay close, because what you're about to hear might not just rewrite history, it may change how you see the world. If you love uncovering buried truths and forgotten stories, make sure to hit the like button. Your support helps us bring more hidden histories back to light. Stay with us, because the journey into the secret of the past is just beginning. Chapter 1. The City of Wisdom. Once, there was a city where the air itself whispered in the language of knowledge. Baghdad, 9th century. Not just a capital, but a beating heart of human brilliance. A place where ideas moved faster than armies and scholars were treated like kings. At its center stood something the world had never seen before, Bait al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom. But it was more than a library. It was a living mind, a sacred machine powered by human curiosity. Picture it, vast marble halls glowing with lamplight, scrolls from Greece, Persia, India, scriptures, star maps, secrets, stacked floor to ceiling, golden arches above and below them, debates that echoed like thunder. Philosophers, mathematicians, alchemists, physicians gathered not to worship, but to question. Because in the House of Wisdom, even faith had to face the fire of reason. Under Caliph al-Ma'mun, the pursuit of knowledge became a divine duty. He sent emissaries to every known empire to bring back lost books, hidden formulas, and ancient truths. They came back not just with pages, but with portals, windows into forgotten worlds. Some say al-Ma'mun was obsessed, that he believed within those scrolls lay the key to unite heaven and earth. But not all knowledge was meant for open eyes. Behind the beauty, there were whispers, whispers of secret rooms, forbidden experiments, writings so powerful, even caliphs hesitated to read them. What was hidden in those vaults? What truths did the Abbasids protect so fiercely and fear so deeply? Some say they weren't preserving the past, they were guarding the future. Chapter 2. Guardians of the Hidden Knowledge. They say, not all books in the Abbasid libraries were meant to be read. Some were meant to be locked away, buried behind silence, guarded, not shared. Deep within the House of Wisdom, beyond the public halls and golden arches, were sealed chambers, rooms hidden behind bronze doors and guarded by a circle of scholars, chosen not for their fame, but for their obedience. They were known as the Guardians, keepers of the forbidden, protectors of a knowledge so ancient, its very existence was a threat to the world outside. This was Ilm al-Kafi, the hidden knowledge, scrolls on alchemy, quantum stars, the architecture of sound. Writings said to be passed down from Babylon, from Anak, from civilizations lost before time had a name. They translated them, they preserved them, but they did not speak of them, even among themselves. silence was law. And yet, one man dared to question that silence. Caliph al-Ma'mun, by day a patron of logic, by night a seeker of something far deeper. He began to spend nights alone inside the forbidden vaults, surrounded by scrolls no one else dared touch, searching for a secret, the one that would bind heaven, earth, and man. Some said the knowledge began to change him, that he stopped trusting his own scholars, that he spoke of voices in the texts, of patterns in the stars, of truths that bent reality. And slowly, the court began to fear him, because the more he read, the more he wanted to know. And the more he knew, the more dangerous his knowledge became. Some believe the guardians warned him. Others say they abandoned him. But one thing is clear. Whatever was hidden in those rooms was never meant to be found. Chapter 3. The Night of Fire. The year was 1258, a date that echoes like a scream through the halls of history. The Mongol horde, led by Hulagu Khan, descended on Baghdad with the fury of a storm. The city that once gleamed like a beacon of knowledge turned into a furnace of smoke and ash. The House of Wisdom, once a sanctuary of light, stood defenseless against the tide of destruction. Scholars clutched their precious scrolls, desperately trying to save centuries of wisdom. But it was all in vain. The ink, the knowledge, was poured into the Tigris River, until its waters ran black for 7 days. Not with blood, but with words, the very essence of human thought, lost to the waves. Thousands of manuscripts on science, philosophy, medicine, and secrets too dangerous to speak aloud were thrown into oblivion. Centuries of progress vanished in a single night. But history remembers only the fire. What history forgets is the whispers of survivors. Whispers that say, before the Mongols reached the library, a secret group vanished into the night. The guardians, carrying with them the most sacred, the most dangerous scrolls. Scrolls that would never see the flames. And thus began the trail of the Lost Abbasid Libraries, a path marked by silence, shadows, and secrets. Chapter 4. The Dispersed Scrolls. After Baghdad fell into silence, the world seemed to lose a heartbeat, a pause in the rhythm of knowledge. But silence does not mean absence. The scrolls didn't disappear. They scattered. Carried away by the fleeing guardians, these fragments of wisdom slipped into the shadows of history. Some surfaced centuries later, hidden inside ancient mosques of Cairo, sealed behind walls in Damascus, and tucked away in the vaults of Andalusia. Each fragment whispered a story of a world far greater than anyone had imagined. Travelers spoke of strange manuscripts sold in secret markets, bearing the seals of Abbasid caliphs, written in inks that shimmered faintly, even in the dark. Those who dared to decode them claimed the words shifted, moving as if alive, rewriting themselves under watchful eyes. In the archives of the Ottoman Empire, cryptic notes tell of unidentified ancient writings arriving from the East. Historians believe these were pieces of the lost collection, smuggled across desert and seas by families sworn to protect them. But wherever these scrolls went, a dark pattern followed. Mysterious deaths, missing crates, erased names. It seemed the knowledge the Abbasids guarded still demanded to be hidden. Chapter 5. The Forbidden Codex. Among all the tales whispered through the centuries, one stands apart, the legend of Kitab al-Zil, the Book of Shadows. It was said to be the most guarded volume of the Abbasid era, a codex containing the combined wisdom of ancient civilizations, from Babylon to Alexandria, Persia to the Indus. Its pages, written in multiple languages and strange symbols, were rumored to reveal the very structure of the universe, how stars govern destiny, how sound can alter matter, and how the human mind could reach beyond time itself. The scholars who studied Kitab al-Zil disappeared one by one. Some claimed the book whispered to those who read it, promising insight, but demanding a price in return. Others said it was not a book at all, but a device, a compilation of frequencies bound in script. When Baghdad fell, Kitab al-Zil was never found among the ruins, but fragments of its description surfaced centuries later in private collections of Istanbul and Granada, each piece matching perfectly, as if they belonged to the same lost heart of wisdom. And so, the mystery deepened. If one book held such power, what else might be hidden in the vaults of the Abbasid libraries, waiting for the right eyes to rediscover them? Chapter 6. Echoes in the Modern Age. Centuries passed. Empires rose and crumbled. But the whispers of the Abbasid libraries refused to die. In the late 19th century, explorers and Orientalists began hearing strange accounts. Sealed chambers beneath old mosques, hidden basements in Baghdad avoided after sunset. In 1899, a British researcher named Edward Cartwright claimed to have found a map referencing the Dar al-Hikmah vaults, a supposed underground annex of the House of Wisdom. But before he could publish his findings, he vanished. Only his assistant survived, found delirious in Basra, repeating a phrase in broken Arabic, "The light beneath the river still burns." In the 20th century, during excavations near Al-Kark, fragments of manuscripts were uncovered, sealed inside lead containers, ink intact, calligraphy perfect. Authorities confiscated them quickly, and their contents remain classified to this day. Even now, researchers speak of lost collections possibly buried beneath modern Baghdad, a city rebuilt, reborn, but still carrying echoes of forgotten brilliance. And maybe, beneath its streets, the last pages of Abbasid wisdom wait in silence. Chapter 7. The Silent Custodians. Every legend has its keepers, and the story of the Abbasid libraries is no exception. In the early 2000s, a set of coded manuscripts appeared briefly in the Black Archives of Istanbul. Written in ancient Arabic mixed with Syriac symbols, they bore the mark of the House of Wisdom. Before historians could access them, they vanished, acquired by an anonymous foundation claiming to preserve sensitive heritage. Whispers among scholars suggest that descendants of the old guardians still exist, not as monks or librarians, but as archivists, collectors, unseen hands guarding the remnants of a lost empire. Their oath never ended, their bloodline sworn to keep the dangerous knowledge sealed until the world is ready to bear its truth once again. Every few decades, a clue surfaces, a fragment in a museum, a forbidden text misfiled in a European library, a discovery swiftly denied by officials. Each trace disappears as quietly as it appeared, as if someone somewhere still watches over the knowledge born in Baghdad. Perhaps the Abbasid libraries were never truly lost. Perhaps they were only hidden, protected by silence, preserved by fear, waiting for seekers wise enough to find them. Last chapter. The Legacy of the Lost. The Abbasid libraries may have burned, but their light never truly died. It lingers in the words we study, in the sciences we practice, in the very curiosity that drives us to ask, what else have we forgotten? For every book that vanished, a question remained. And questions have a way of surviving. Maybe that was the real legacy of the Abbasids, not the libraries themselves, but the fire of knowledge they set in motion. If these halls of wisdom still exist somewhere beneath the earth, they are not waiting for kings or conquerors. They're waiting for seekers. Seekers who understand that truth is never destroyed, only hidden. If this story awakened that seeker within you, then share it and let others know that the quest for truth is not over yet. Because somewhere, beyond the dust of time, the lost thrones of knowledge still whisper to those who listen.